Hello everybody, and I hope you are enjoying the new month of November. I also hope you had a great weekend. And today I wanted to talk about something that is actually becoming something very important and also a responsibility for all of us. So for those of you who are trying to be more gentle with the environment and maybe do things to help our planet Earth, to reduce waste, also to improve your health, because everything is connected. Everything that we put in our bodies at some point is going to affect the planet. The same way the things that we use are going to end up on the landfills and water and our foods if we don't become more mindful about it. So this is a topic that is becoming very popular, and also people are getting more educated, and I think it's very important to stop and think about it and maybe see what things we can do to help and improve not only our health but also to contribute to reduce waste and also take care of our environment. So one of the things that I think that we should think about and maybe start is how to reduce kitchen waste. So because I always share things that have to do with our foods, being healthy, maybe starting in the kitchen can be a very easy way. I just wanted to give you a couple of facts so you understand why this is so important. And one of them is that 14 million tons of plastic actually end up in our oceans every year. Think of that, 14 million tons of plastic. That's actually insane. And just think of these as a big problem because we depend on our oceans in many, many ways. There's a lot of things that we consume and eat from the ocean. And all this plastic is just affecting the life of the animals that are in the ocean. The algae also is affecting our environment and the weather, and is causing also for the temperature to rise and contribute and make global warming even worse. Also, plastic in landfills become microplastic, or micro little particles of plastic, and it's washed off when it rains. It goes into the soil. It's also being eaten by animals, and then of course all this plastic at some point will end up in our system, in our bodies, just like it is in the ocean. So it's not only affecting our oceans but also the landfills, the soil. And I think by just contributing and doing something small, we can actually make a huge difference. So some of the benefits that we can contribute or just have by helping reduce waste is we can, number one, of course, help the environment. We can also help our health, and believe it or not, because this is it's a process that is very expensive, we can actually save money. So I'm gonna give you a few solutions and tips that you can start practicing in your kitchen or at home, so you can maybe help this problem to stop affecting us and maybe just make a big difference, or maybe a small difference just by starting with something little. So one of the things that I actually started practicing a while ago, because I do pack lunch, it's for you to maybe start using glass containers instead of plastic. Especially if you also warm them up, is healthier. So using glass containers can actually be healthier. Also washing less. So if you are someone who goes through your closet and change many times during the day, maybe trying to be more mindful about the amount of clothes that you are changing into or using, so you can reduce the amount of water and products for cleaning that you are using a day. Also, maybe try a compost pile in your garden. If you have not tried this, it's actually very beneficial, and it can also help you have a better garden every year. So just saving all the waste that comes from fruits, vegetables, and decomposable things like paper and carton like this, decomposable paper that you can throw in your decompost pile. That will be actually very helpful. Also look for foods that are actually not wrapped up in plastic. So if you go, usually when you buy at a farmer's market or maybe a food store, just by looking at the containers, and if they are made out of paper, you're actually helping, and it's a huge change instead of buying plastic. And you can actually keep these cute containers to keep your fruits and veggies fresh in your refrigerator. So look for for paper instead of plastic, and don't buy things that come wrapped up in plastic if it's not necessary. Another thing is having an energy efficient kitchen. So if there's things that you use in the kitchen, like maybe toasters, blenders, just try to see and look for labels that says, energy efficient. And also, if you are not at home, I recommend that you unplug all these little gadgets so you can actually contribute and help the planet and also save energy. Also, look for foods that are, that are just not fully processed. So eating actually from, foods that are maybe from the garden directly from a farmer's market, eating more fruits and vegetables can actually reduce the amount of carbon dioxide, which is actually causing a lot of pollution and issues in our environment and also in our health. So eating more vegetables, having a higher plant-based diet can actually be a huge help, believe it or not. Also buying long-lasting kitchen tools, like maybe, like your spoons, maybe mixers, containers, things that you can reuse and that can actually last longer so you don't have to contaminate so much. Another thing is maybe when you are taking liquids, like for example water or coffee, instead of using those fancy cups that you buy at the supermarket that are made out of either plastic or foam, you can actually just buy a reusable cute cup that you can use for your tea or your coffee, and you can refill and take. And also using stainless steel cups so that way you can take water with you all the time, and actually healthier not to drink from a plastic bottle. So these are very small solutions that can only benefit the environment, but they can also benefit your health from not using plastic. And one more that I actually recommend when you go to the supermarket, I know now it's hard to find plastic, but if you are still depending on plastic bags that are still being distributed, you can buy reusable bags that are actually not made out of plastic. Some of them are made out of fabric or reusable materials, and they are good for you to, instead of using plastic, you can just take these bags with you, and you can just put all your fruits, vegetables, and produce in these baggies that are friendlier with the environment. So I hope this was helpful. I also wanted to give you, there's a movement called the Zero Waste Movement. Maybe just by joining a newsletter where you can get information to stay informed about the issues and the things that you can do to contribute, how to take care of our environment and our health is actually very, very helpful. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you get to practice some of these, little tips so you can start contributing and also improve your health. All right, guys, have a great week.